Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, GHA family and friends. We are back with another homework helper video, okay? And this one is for 5th grade. We are in module 3 and we are in lesson 3. So I'm gonna read the directions and I'm going to get us started. So these are very similar to last night's homework and the homework from the night before. So it says to draw a rectangular fraction model to find the sum and then simplify your answer if possible. All right, so I'm gonna go over one of these and then there's some story problems. I'll do one of the story problems. So the first says 1/4 plus 1/3, okay? 1/4 plus 1/3, okay? So we cannot add these because they do not have the same denominator. The denominator are these two bottom numbers. So we need to make them the same by finding out what they have in common, okay? So what we need to do in order to find out what they have in common is take the two denominators and multiply them, okay? So we're gonna come up with 12. 4 times 3 is 12. So that means we need to get both of these denominators to equal 12. So we're gonna multiply in order to do that, all right? So we just multiply 4 by 3 equals 12. And you know that 3 by 4 is also 12 because it's interchangeable. All right, so 4 times 3 is going to give us 12 over here. Oh, I'm sorry, put a 3 there, no, 12. And whatever you have to do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. So we multiply by 3 there. Over here, we're going to have to multiply by 4. So whatever we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top. So now we have a whole new addition problem with our fractions. So we have 12 at the bottom. We have 12 as our denominator for both of them. And then we have 3 times 1, so that's going to be 3, and 1 times 4, which is going to be 4. So we have 3 twelfths plus 4 twelfths. And our answer, we know our denominator stays the same. And we have to add our numerators. Our numerators are the two top numbers of our fractions. So we have 3 plus 4, which is 7. So we have 7 twelfths. And now we need to draw a rectangular fraction model to show how this makes sense, okay? So I'm going to delete this. Actually, no, I'm not going to delete this. We'll make it smaller. Put it over there. Okay. So here's how we make our rectangular fractional model. So we're going to make a rectangle, and we need to have 12 boxes in there. So we're going to go 3 over here and 4. So we have 12 boxes. For this one, we're also going to have 12 boxes because of our denominator. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do, okay. So we have 12 boxes. For the first one, we're going to fill in 3. And for the second one, out of our 12, we're going to fill in 4. And so our answer is 7 twelfths. So our denominator is our total number of blocks. So we have 12 and we have 12. And our answer will also have 12. So we would just take the ones that we filled in and add them together. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's where we get our 7 from. So here is our rectangular fractional model. And here's how we add fractions with unlike denominators. Okay, now I'm going to go over a story problem. Number 2, let's just start with number 2. Okay, so it says solve the following problems. Draw a picture and write the number sentence that proves the answer. Simplify your answer if possible. So it says Rajesh jogged 3/4 mile and then walked 1/6 mile to cool down. And they want to know how far did he travel. So there's no differentiation between jogging and running. They just want to know how far he traveled. So we're going to take those two fractions and add them together. All right, so we have 3/4 and we have 1/6. Plus 1/6. All right, so we know that these two fractions do not have the same denominator, so we cannot add them until we find out what they have in common and make them the same. So we're going to multiply these two and we get 24. Okay, so that means both of our denominators are gonna be 24 here. And in our answer, we'll also have 24. Okay, so what do we do to make this 4 a 24? What do we multiply by? Well, we multiply by 6. So we can do that here, and we know we have to do that up top as well. And with the 6, you know, we multiply by 4, so we have to do that up here as well. Whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. Whatever you do to the top, you have to do to the bottom. So now that we have 6 times 4, we have our denominator as 24, and 6 times 4, we have our denominator of 24. Now we can go up top and we can multiply. So we have 6 times 3, which is 18. And then we have 1 times 4, which is going to be 4. And we're adding to find out the total amount that he traveled. So we're going to take 18 and add 4 to it. 18 plus 4 is 22. So we have 22 of 24, okay? So now that we've transformed our problem to have similar denominators or alike denominators, we can go ahead and do our fractional model. So here's how you draw that picture. We're going to have 24 boxes. So let's say we did 4 and then 6. All right, and over here we're also going to have 24. So let's do 4 and then 6. All right, so how many are we going to fill in? For the first 24, we're going to fill in 18. 18 out of 24. Let's use green this time. Uh-oh. All right, 6, 12, 18. Okay, and then over here, we're just gonna fill in 4. So we can go straight across. All right, so out of this 24, we have 24 blocks and we filled in 18. Over here, we have 24 blocks and we filled in 4. When we added those together, 18 plus 4 is gonna give us 22, and our denominator is gonna stay the same. So this is where we pull our information from our story problem. So we can say in a complete sentence, I'm not really sure how to pronounce this name. So I'm gonna shrink this and come up with a sentence. So his name is Rajesh. All right. And we can say that he traveled. These are all words from the story problem. And then we have 22, 24 miles all together. Okay, have a good evening.